All right, so let's talk a little bit about your English that we did. So I told you in my last video that we were talking about the types of sentences. So in the English world, the English education world, we talk about declarative, imperative, exclamatory, and interrogative sentences. And in our book, it actually talks about a different kind. It calls them, I'm going to find the code so that you can see it. It's right here. The code here, it calls them telling sentences, which is a declarative sentence, a command sentence, which is an imperative sentence, an exclamation, which is an exclamatory sentence, and then a question, which is interrogative. So we're going to go with the code for this book instead of the one that I told you, and I apologize if that was confusing. I just was kind of going based on what I knew about it, and that's the way I was teaching it, but we're going to follow the curriculum so that it is not so tricky and confusing. So this week, we talked about exclamation points we did on Friday last week. So we talked about exclamatory sentences, exclamation, when somebody's really excited and they're shouting out, hooray, and they're doing excited with feeling, with oomph type sentences. And that's when you use an exclamation point. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I love Frozen, that can be an exclamatory sentence. And then yesterday, we talked about the questions, the questioning sentences. And every question will start with some kind of who, what, when, where, why, how, or did you, or are you, or were you. It's wanting to know something from someone else. And so it's going to be a question. And usually questions end with the sentence kind of going up a little bit. So you're like, do you want an apple? And that goes apple. Or instead of saying eat the apple, it's do you want an apple? And so the question mark is important. So when you're listening, listen to the way that the sentence sounds, listen to the words in the sentence. And then we also talked about starting each sentence with a capital letter. And then if you're ending it, make sure it's ended with that. And then we also talked about today we talked about the types of sentences there are and how they end. So if you're telling somebody something that's a telling sentence, you're going to have this right here, the telling sentences. If you go through and you look at each one of these. So my dog's name is Max. Max is I'm just telling you, I have a dog. His name is Max. And if I have Max sitting there and I say, sit down, Max, that is a command. I'm telling him to sit. Max is such a good dog. Oh, that's a feeling. That's an exclamation. I love Max. Oh, he's so good. And then maybe somebody else, does Max always obey? Is he always a good dog? Those are questions. So you're going to go through here and you're going to look at these and you're going to write here. You're going to write the question mark or the exclamation point or the period for the command or the telling sentence. And then here on this one, you're going to look at the sentences and you're going to tell me whether it's a telling sentence, a command sentence, an exclamation, or a question. And then on the back, you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to look for that in there. And then these ones, you're going to fix them because something's wrong with these sentences. You need to figure out what's wrong. At the apply and listen, just go ahead and skip that because I don't have that information for you. And it's okay. It's just more practice of looking for what sentence is what. So just don't worry about the apply and listen. Okay, so then tomorrow we're going to talk about fragments. Fragments are parts of a sentence that don't complete. So if I say, my mom is, it's a fragment because we don't know what is my mom, what is my mom is what. So a fragment doesn't complete a sentence. So I have a complete sentence would be something like, the dog ate the crayon. It's a complete thought. It's everything. But you can have ones that are like the crayon, but we don't know what about the crayon. I mean, the crayon is blue. The dog ate the crayon. The crayon fell on the floor. Like what about those? What about it? So when you have a fragment, it's because it's something that my computer froze. There we go. When you have a fragment, it's not a complete thought. And so when you're reading something, you need to look closely at the words and say, oh, that's not it. So you're going to look here at these and you're going to say, some of these ones. It says oranges grow in California. Absolutely. That's a whole thought because it talks about where something is, who, a subject, and what is it doing? It's growing in California. Went to California last week. Who went to California last week? Why? We? You? Me? So it's that's not a complete thought. So that would be considered a fragment. So you're going to go through this page. You're going to look at what's the full thought, the full idea, or what's not the full idea. And then we are on Thursday, we're going to talk about ABC order. And that shouldn't be too hard. You're going to pick some, they're going to have these different words and what goes in order. So I really like to just sing the alphabet song. A, B, C. Okay, C is first. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G is next. And so on and so forth. You need to wait. I'm making a video. Go. Yes. And so, okay.